Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Southeast Europe Championships. It is the grand finals. It is currently 2-1 to Dark Passage. I am the Deman Smith, and of course I am joined by Jason Kaplan, or J-Cap, lol, it used to be known.
Or Kaplan, Captain Kaplan.
J-Kaplan.
Or but, I love you.
Or Kaplan Sapling, as you now know. Kaplan Sapling.
one.
We've born a new phrase. Pick a mans are underway, so let's get straight into it without further ado. So, Corky banned out. Wow! They're forcing Steel back onto something new. They finally realized, wait a minute, this guy's pretty good on this champion. Pantheon also taken away, so actually focusing heavily on what they've been picking. Crystal, of course, played that in the last two previous matchups. Orianna being taken away. Magebane played that to great success in Game 1, not so much in Game 2. And Maokai also taken away from Lady Warrior.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised to see them focus out the Pantheon and Corky. Like, it wasn't, to me, those two champions that was causing them to lose. It was literally just their play style that was making them mess up, having that tanky top laner. But, you know, it's like kind of, it's just take away what they're competent at, force them on something a little bit not as comfortable. You know, the least sim we saw Crystal on in Game 1 wasn't that effective, didn't really do too much. But, of course, Gnar gonna be the final ban, Jace as well. Jace's been banned out every game, but there's a lot of champions still open now. We have a lot of mid laners, which is always focused down, and there it is, Zed getting through.
Yeah, Zed getting through, like you said, a lot of focus was formerly on the route. That's all they were banning out to begin with, and they finally realized, you know what? Actually, the rest of the team's pretty good as well, not just this guy in the mid lane. So we should probably focus that one. It does mean, of course, Lissandra has squeaked through the cracks. Was played in Game 1 by Naru. Wasn't too great success.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily, I think, his fault in that one, though. It was the whole point of, you know, a non-psycho just ganking him over and over and over again on that Jarvan. That just completely punished him. He got Mage way too fed, and there's nothing he could really do about that one. But I'm curious to see if he is, in fact, mid lane, how he's going to do up against his Zed. Because Lissandra a pretty good counter to Zed, especially when it comes to ganking him. Pop the ult on top of him, you can lock him down, and he can't go anywhere. And a Mumu, though.
A Mumu.
That's going to be interesting.
I never realized Kobe was back playing, but it seems that Amumu is being picked back up here. Who knew? His time to shine is back, ladies and gentlemen. Get Kobe back in LCS. Crystal changing things around here. We'll see if it works for him, of course. There was Jarvan available, which I thought he actually may slip back to, or Lee Sin, of course, which is currently being hovered over by an on-psycho. Now,
I can almost guarantee there's going to be a Janna support here for DD.
Yeah? To just make sure they blow a Mumu away as soon as he comes flying in.
To stop his to disengage their engage, because they already have a Sandra and Mumu now, like two very strong engaged champions. So you need something to kind of counter that, to buy you a little bit of time to stop them from catching off guard. I wouldn't be surprised to see Janna. The Jarvan, it's worked for a non in every single game so far. Woo, Callista. If I'm not mistaken, is she available in Intel Matches Clone coming up this weekend?
Yes, because she was actually available in
the expansion tournament.
Was she available in San Jose? I don't think she was. No, she wasn't available in San Jose. When did she come out? Because it's always a 4-week gap. It may be available in Intellectual Masters.
I think yeah.
If you're not sure, guys, that IEM Cologne is coming up actually in 2 days' time. Starts on Thursday, which is going to be the EU LCS expansion tournament. Actually, is what starts then, I should say, not the IEM Cologne. That's going to be cast by, obviously, Stress and Pulse are going to be doing that, as well as myself, Deficio, and Joe as a TriCast. So there you go. I've given you insight. If you're watching now, you know that that is going to be happening on, I think it's the End Faculty game we're casting, actually, on day 1. But, back to pick and bans. Callista, again, different dimensions, pulling out different picks.
Sorry, I was like, different dimension, DP, different picks. Callista is going to be interesting to see how this one works, because we haven't seen too much of her yet in competitive, because obviously she hasn't been allowed to be played. But she's very, very interesting. Her wave clear is weird to see, if I remember correctly. You have to stack up your auto attacks onto one target, then use your Q, which makes it go through that one, then puts all your stacks on the next minion, which then will go through that one as well, kind of thing.
It's a hard one to explain. It's more a case you have to play it to see it.
Exactly.
Really, yeah.
And then not to mention the movement off of her is very unique. Very similar to Draven in terms of you have to always be careful where you're moving, because Callista will jump Draven, you have to pick up your axe kind of thing, or catch it.
Yeah.
But she has a lot of damage behind her. Not to mention her ultimate can be very deadly when it comes to, you know, these fights. And looks like we might not even see a Janna this time, but we could see a Rumble top lane, which would be a godsend here for me, because Lady Warrior is not working well in these tanky champions top lane, at least in terms of his team compositions. Rumble would be a good pick. The whole lock him into a equilibrium, not equilibrium. What is it called? Oh, what's Rumble's ultimate?
Equalizer.
Equalizer, thank you. Does so much damage.
Yeah, and actually this is quite a good counter to what you were talking
Was
about.
Was there a placeholder somewhere?
Didn't get to... Amumu is Thresh. Ah! Boo. Boo-hoo. Okay, so we're going to have that again. Amumu was Thresh, by the way, so that's all that was. Amumu was placed. That's a shame.
That is. But I didn't see the jungler was
Kobe, sorry guys. Go back to retirement.
Jumped the gun.
Go back to retirement. It's not happening. It's not happening for you.
I didn't see what the rest of their picks were, though.
Yeah, I didn't see the final pick. They actually locked in down the end there. I guess we'll get to see it again in a moment. They're just going to go whiz through them. This is just going to be a quick pick and ban. They've already locked in who they're going to be. So it is Rumble in that top lane. Of course, we do see that it's going to be Lysandra up against the Rumble in the top lane. Tricky one in itself, that one. Rumble, though, has come prevalent a lot. Ari was in there. Yeah, he was the final pickup. And it is going to be that Lucian versus Callisto. And see how that works out. And a Sona. Sona's a good counter to what they've got here. And there is the Thresh as the final pick.
Okay, so the Ari has been banned out every game against Naru. Finally let through, he's going to pick it up.
Yeah.
The Zed as well has been banned every single game, but Mage Bane now on it here. I'm really curious to see how the Kalista lane does up against the Lucian. I don't know why they're switching champions like last second. But the Lucian versus Kalista thing in terms of wave clear.
They're going to be AD Rumble.
Well, I'm like wondering, is Dom playing top lane and Lady Warrior playing AD? Okay, never mind. There they go. But wave clear is going to be a big thing when it comes into this one. Lucian obviously very quick at clearing out waves, especially with Thresh behind him with the runic shield. The sustain, though, out of Sona is really hard to deal with. But if you catch out of Sona with a hook, like that's going to be a free kill for you, especially if you have Lee Sin anywhere near to help out. But they have this really AP-heavy team, obviously, with the Ahri and the Lysandra, I can't remember the name. And they have a good pick comp. A hook into a land... A hook into a charm, into a Lysandra ultimate. I can get there.
You can get there. You can make it eventually.
I can make it. Can kill almost anyone. So it's going to be very hard, but I feel like DD have them beat on picks.
And DD have been able to land those one-word combos, certainly in Game 1, not so much Game 2 and 3, because Dark Passage definitely stepped things up. So if you just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Southeast Europe. You can see it right there on the screen. It is the Championships, the Grand Final, best of 5. And, of course, that means it is all about expanding the regions, certainly in League of Legends and all other games. This isn't just single for League of Legends. StarCraft happened last week, and it's also gone on. If you're unsure what the regions are, it is, of course, Turkey, Hungary, Bulgaria, Greece, of course, who's been represented here, Romania, and Moldova. Also, the Adriatic regions, which I can tell you, of course, is Slovenia, Croatia, Malta, Montenegro, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Albania, Macedonia. How have you not heard of these? You're American. That's
geography.
why, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. That's why. You didn't even know where Adriatic was. I was like, it's what?
Hey, I know the capital of Switzerland, okay?
That's impressive. Well done. Yeah. Burn, baby, burn.
I got burned really hard on that, actually, by one of our producers one time.
What's the former capital of Germany? West Germany,
Bonn.
I guess. Yeah, you see, he knows. It's because it's nearby, that's why.
It's because I knew a girlfriend there, that's why.
Oh, wow. Okay. Geography by girlfriends, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're going to get here. But yeah, there's money up for grabs. This is the first rollout, I guess you could say, of
it's the first time we're doing this,
Asia.
to build up this region.
Southeast Europe. I keep saying Southeast Asia. I'm so used to sound C as Southeast Asia. It's the Southeast European region, and it really is expanding those territories. Of course, Turkey being probably the biggest one, which is why they are being represented, and they are actually winning now. But Greece putting in a very good showing here, different dimensions, really proving that there are other teams out there that can compete. Of course, these teams, sadly, I don't think can compete in the LCS. They're not actually able to because it's a limited pool of, I think it's people within the Shenzhen region. I'm not too sure how exactly who's involved in that region. Not too sure. I know, for example, Lithuania can't compete. I know that's where Gaming Gear were from in Season 3.
Yeah.
They wanted to get in the LCS, but they actually weren't because it's all about basically, obviously, I mean, it's not Riot. This is a global, worldwide law. They can't live within Germany, so it's the same problem that Gambit have. They obviously traveling. You've maybe seen Genja talking about how it was basically hurting the team because they're traveling constantly. It's just a simple fact that there is a law called the Shenzhen Agreement where they cannot live within Germany for longer than 3 months. If they do, they have to be outside of Germany for 3 months. Therefore, can't really compete, can you? So it's a simple worldwide law that, unfortunately, hurts us in esports because we are kind of a worldwide sport rather than a single individual sport.
How damn good Gambit would have been if they could have lived in Germany.
I know. We always wonder that.
Like the travel they had to do, that they had to leave. Like they would miss out on 1 or 2 days every week.
They would practice 1 day a week. That's all they could do. Whereas all the teams are like 5-6 days.
And yet they still just destroy teams.
Yeah, for a
scary thing.
Fair period of time. But yeah, I got to be honest with them. All credit to Genja, Alex H, Darian, Edward, and of course that have all constantly been going. Diamond's still going at it as well. But you know, the fact that they had to travel, it's like a 2-day travel. I know for a fact, Eddie had a 21-hour travel day. So it's 21-hour travel home, 21-hour travel back. Think of doing that every single week
for a year
and practicing for 2 years. Well, I mean, there's a good reason he got a visa and went to America and said, sod this, I can go and live in LA and basically drive to the studio and back. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. He came back and did it all over again. Sucker for punishment, maybe. Who knows? Big Eddie, you keep it up, man. It's still working out for him. They're still there in the LCS. Back to the Southeast Europe Championships, though. We are loading and getting underway in a moment. It is Dark Passage, the Turkish team representing 2-1 up over Greece's different dimensions. Who is going to take Game 4?
Well, look at the lineups. It's going to be a tough one. Nonetheless, seeing Kalista again, at least for me, the first time in competitive play, it's interesting to see how one's going to work out. One thing I'm really liking, though, about this whole thing is that the amount of support that's come out of the region. I mean, we have 20,000 people watching. Like, it's really cool because you imagine Brazil, you think of Pain Gaming, whenever we did Intel Extreme Masters there, the crowd would go crazy. But to have all these, the smaller regions who don't get as much love from these, global tournaments are so supportive of their teams. It's really cool to see it. I hope to see this, obviously, region continue to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely things are livening it up, and these are big numbers that you wouldn't ordinarily expect to see from these regions. But there's a lot of fan support there. We know you guys, especially the Turkish fans, they've been filling stadiums for about 2 years now, and the Greek fans out there, they've shown up in big numbers. I'm trying to think when we actually had an event in maybe like Bulgaria, Romania, or Hungary. I can't even think of one. There is, of course, the Budapest DreamHack that goes on. That's certainly for Paul's big numbers as well.
Well, sadly, it's kind of like, it's not like they're competing the region. It's like people outside coming into the region to play the event. So it's still not even that kind of level. But with stuff like this happening, if you guys obviously can get involved, we have another season coming up in the beginning of next year. We're going to start to see teams get better and better and better and start to compete on more of a global scale. So hopefully, the next 5-6 months, we're going to see that their metas kind of catch up, the individual skill of the players really kind of increase, and hopefully see them in some of these really big events. Like for instance, we have Intel Extreme Masters Clone coming up. You have Aces High coming in from Turkey. So it's really cool to see how they're going to do against these teams.
Yeah, if you guys are unaware, obviously we do start on Thursday with the LCS expansion, Thursday, Friday. I think it's also maybe on Saturday as well, because obviously there's a couple of games in there, as well as the Intel Extreme Masters. As you mentioned, Aces High, if you're not aware, it's Holy Phoenix's new team. He was the AD carry, superstar that used to be on Dark Passage, that split off and created his own team after Worlds. We've also got a fantastic named team. You think Unicorns of Love is a good team? What about this? Dolphins of Wall Street. What a name, ladies and gentlemen. They are the Russian team coming in, going to represent, because unfortunately Moscow 5 were not able to make it due to the visa issues you may be aware of. So the second place team was Dolphins of Wall Street. Actually, I think they went 3-2 in the qualifiers as well. So they're pretty equally skilled.
Yeah, Jonah cast them.
Yeah, alongside them, of course, is Roccat. Are we going to see Ryu? Not too sure whether we'll get to see the new player that's in there. We'll see how that works out. Will we see Overpower in the top lane now? His new position, I'm not too sure. Gambit, of course, coming in. They've got Pinoy as their AD carry, who kind of ended out the season. We'll see how it's worked out with them. Kabashad, of course, in that top lane replaced Darian. So a lot of changes in that team. Have they synergized? Not too sure. We'll find out. Dignitas coming in. 2 new Korean players. Where the hell did they come through? Gansu and I can't even think of the other guy's name. But yeah, 2 random Korean guys they just picked up out of the blue. OD's done some digging on that one, that's for sure. I'm sure he's got his sources where he's found these players. But yeah, we'll see how they work out. And of course, Counter Logic Gaming. They are back once again. They were here in the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne last year. Unfortunately for Double Lift, he got dumped on by Reckless. This time around, it's not going to happen.
It's not like he trash talked for the whole thing.
I know, right?
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
You might have.
You build yourself up. You got to take the punishments. But yeah,
at least he gave credit though. At the end, he was like, "Yeah, Reckless, he's a really good player. Really give him credit for that one."
I mean, well, he's in Alliance now. He obviously set records last year, so we'll see if that can continue for him. But of course, with Counter Logic Gaming in there, we're going to see how they work out with their new lineups.
I'm really looking forward to see Roccat just for the whole Overpower thing.
Yeah.
I know you and Joe have been casting the EU Nordic region for a long time before you even worked here at ESL. And Overpower is always one of those players who can play anything. Like we've seen a mid lane
before.
before.
He pulled that Mordekaiser in the LCS, for Christ's sake.
I mean, he did Katarina in Intoxic Masters Singapore, I believe, and had like a pentakill. Like we've seen him play top lane. I think he was originally like a jungler for them. He plays so many different lanes. He's one of those really fluent players, and I'm really curious to see what he's going to be able to do.
Yeah, I want to see how he develops, of course. We've seen a few mid laners become top laners before. Alex tried it, didn't really work out, and ended up having to come back. But with the new possibilities for AP champions in that top lane, it may well actually fit him. And he wasn't your standard mid laner, I think it's safe to say. However, he was quite a passive mid laner. Like he was the man that the records were being set against. Like that's where Peke set that record. That's where Froggen also got that record against him. You know, so it's a tricky one. We'll see how it works out for him. Whether he's going to become a new aggressive power, or are we actually going to see Ryu? Because I'm not sure if he's actually technically registered for the team yet. Because he was a Millennium, of course. So he's kind of being picked up, or has he? Or not sure. I'm not sure whether he's officially picked up yet. I know I've seen some of the players tweeting out and saying, "Oh, it's great to play with him." But is that just a temporary thing? We will find out. Game's getting underway, ladies and gentlemen. This is Game 4 of the Southeast Europe Championships, the grand final, best of 5. 2-1 currently to Dark Passage, who are playing as the red team on your screen right there. And they are up against the Greek team, Different Dimensions, who are playing as the blue team.
All right, so it looks like we're going to see a little bit of a tricky start here at Dark Passage, though. Sending all 5 men down towards the bottom side. They could potentially catch out Kalista if they do land a nice hook. And let's see if Finger or Touch has taken it. Well, he hasn't taken anything just yet, but going to walk straight into this bush here. Kalista going to be able to spot them out. And this is going to be rough here. Actually, they forced a flash right away here without even having to actually use the hook. So now they have the whole mind gaze going on. They're going to force Sona to put a ward down to at least spot them if they're going to continue to go for the invade or not. In the meantime, you're seeing Jarvan do the same thing here towards the top side.
Yeah, very aggressive stuff. And that does, of course, mean that flash is now down for the AD carry Kalista in the bottom lane. So we may see some early ganks from Crystal this time around on that AD lane. They did put a little bit of focus on it last time around, of course. We saw those counter plays, and actually that's where a lot of the kills came from. That's why Steelback came out with a big chunk of kills after coming out of lane phase. So red buff ward going down, Crystal checking that one. So they're going to keep coverage on and on Psycho and see where the heck he goes.
We do have him actually going to be starting off at Gromp here, so we'll be taking that buff. Lady Warrior going to be helping out for that one. And now and on, will he go for the invade? That's what I'm curious about. And with the ward we had Sona put down earlier on, I do not believe, no, it did not spot the ward that was placed down inside the red camp. So I'm going to imagine they're going to do some normal starts here. I don't expect too much happen, especially with this ward spotting out Lee Sin coming up towards that top side. But I'm curious to see, how is Anon going to really work this game? Like, is he going to try to feed Mage again and kind of get going from there? But in the meantime, with invade coming in, they're going to stop them from doing the double golems. No longer Krugs now, I guess they're called.
Yep.
I still have a hard time saying that. It feels dirty to me.
It's the same with the Raptors and the Wolves. It's Wraiths. It's a little weird. But, oh well, nonetheless, we do see the punishment coming out there. So it did stop them. You can see the Krug camp didn't get cleared on your screen. Ooh, quick dodge, and that's the difference. So this is actually going to be very tricky for Lucian. So while he can do that light bind, try and get that damage down, it's actually going to be very hard for him to catch. Look how mobile that Kalista is, just zipping around constantly after throwing them spears. So it's going to be very tricky to pin down.
And remember, there's one little, like, kind of a downside for Kalista. Once she starts auto-attacking, she cannot stop. So you can't kind of just, like, half-ass an attack and run away. You have to commit for it. So every auto-attack you throw, you have to be confident that's the kind of right move here. So I feel like Kalista can have a very high skill cap. And not to mention, she jumps further backwards than she would up, down, or towards an enemy. So obviously, when it comes down to chasing her, it's very difficult to kind of catch her.
It's definitely a weird mechanic to get used to. I guess, you know, it's one of those things. It's not quite on the level of Draven, I would say.
I feel like Hosan would play an amazing
I'm sure he would. Yeah, it's like, I remember Candy Panda always saying, like, you're either a Draven player or you're not. Because it's just one of those weird mechanics to get used to. And I guess Kalista is on the same part. We'll see whether it works out for him. Obviously, it's one of the things. I'm liking that Different Dimensions are trying these different things. Though. Obviously, they didn't quite work out from last time around with the Rek'Sai. We'll see whether Kalista works out for them.
In the meantime, Rumble up against the Sandra top lane here. Pretty even in farm. We do have a little bit of lead here coming in, though, for Elwind. Currently at 21-18. I'm curious to see how Lady Warrior is actually going to run the Rumble. This is my question. Like, I remember Wicked saying he was always forced to play like these tanky top laners, and he wasn't really allowed to play what he enjoyed. But for me, is Lady Warrior naturally and enjoy a tanky top lane, like a Malphite like we saw? Or does he actually enjoy playing like Rumble? And then, you know, DD kind of is like, well, we're down already one map now. This is the last one if we lose it, so why not just play something you enjoy?
It's definitely something that could work out for them, you know, that comfort pick.
Yeah, exactly.
It suddenly puts them in a freer state of mind. Oh, hello. And on Psycho is going to come around the back here. They will. Can he get the flag and drag? Will he force the flash out of one? Lucian Steelback already knocking up. Does get the knock upon. Nicely done. Is it going to be first blood? The Ignite is running. I don't think it's quite enough, though. Actually, it wasn't an Ignite. It was just the red buff going down. There's Lysandra, though. He gets popped straight down. Now we're going to see Panda Life. Will he get away with this? The second knockup comes up there. The touch. Why did he go back in? I have no idea. I think they thought they could turn it around with the teleport coming in.
Why did he teleport down? He's level 4. It's not like he's like an unstoppable object yet.
Crazy stuff. You know what, Steelback, you've got to back away from this one. You can't fight it. They may actually take the tower right here. We didn't see any of the mid laners making any move for this one. It's just simply been the two top laners joining with the junglers. Good timing from both teams to be at the right place at the right time, but it was different dimensions that come out 2-0 in the lead.
They can take Dragon as well off of this if they really want to go for it this early. It's very risky. They can also go for a regank. As you see, Thresh can be face checking towards the blue buff. Looks like we won't have a fight break out here just yet, but that turret already the bottom lane taking a heavy amount of damage.
Oh, Steelback's come back into this one. If the slow land's not quite going to be there for Lady Warrior, completely misses the second one. That should have been landed, but instead will not happen in different dimensions. This time they'll back away. They've got a minion wave by the tower, so they should be fine to just back away from this one.
Well, one thing they're trading right now is XP taken away from Steelback versus XP that we're seeing Elwin pick up and Lady Warrior losing out, because they can see on the top side, he's able to push that lane in. He's now winning in CS. He's denying a couple of waves here into the turret as well. But now Lee Sin maybe getting caught out here by Lady Warrior, going to at least safeguard away and by a little bit of time. But every moment Lady Warrior is not on that top lane is another moment that Elwin's getting an advantage.
Well, he's going to have to back off. As you mentioned, that's going to be a big chunk of experience. Oh, Crystal just stopping him. Happy to delay him, but actually taking a little bit more than he bargained for. Steelback now finally backing away in that bottom lane. He's going to have to go back and buy. And that bottom turret is very low on hit points already. They took it very low down. You can see just 261 hit points left on that one. So dangerous times for Touch to stick around.
He still hasn't been able to go back. Crystal's still hitting with Qs. like he's going to be level 6 right now, Elwin, before Lady Warrior's level, or is even back here in the top lane.
Yeah, that's a problem. Whoa! Let's have a rewind on that one, because that looked like a straight-up duel. Okay, both pretty low. I think Magebane just simply going to commit for this one. Yep. Puts the damage down. There's the level 6. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you very much. Off I go. Oh, actually missed the shadow, so he almost mucked that up, but he does manage to get himself the kill as we zip back up forward to the live. And there is the top turret going down. So that was the difference. That was, like you said, the
bottom.
trade. The bottom turret going down. Ah, Steelback wasn't back in time.
And as we can see here, Elwin now, he's going to be level 6 very shortly after a couple more minion waves. Lady Warrior now joined the party on the top side, has sword boots now, and he has the health crystal.
Feeling confident.
Yeah, he is. He really is. And well, he does have his obviously jungler here to help out as well. But either way, they're not going to commit for the fight. Lady Warrior needs to hit level 6 before we see a fight break out. And when it comes into these fights, that's what DD wants. Like, they have a perfect team revolving around that. And I actually really can see what Kalista's going to buy up here. Dominant, but going for a BS sword right away. I've seen a couple of attack speed oriented-ish builds for Kalista, because you can hop really quickly. But I want to see where it goes.
Well, one thing's for sure, they have the perfect mid-game team right now. Obviously, with that Rumble getting something earlier. Whoop! Death Sentence not going to quite land. They're going to throw some damage back towards him. Touch is going to take a couple of spears in the back as he tries to get away from that one. But yeah, mid-game team. That's what worked for them so well in game 1. This time around, blue buff will be gifted across to Magebane. Magebane getting that early 1v1 kill will give him a gigantic amount of confidence, because Naru has kind of dominated him in the last 2 games.
Oh yeah, especially with the Brutalizer, the extra penetration, the extra cooldown reduction, plus the blue buff on top of that. He's looking to snowball his lane, and that seems to me what DD's been really focused around. In game 1, when they did win, is because of Magebane getting fed early on. And we saw in game 2 and in game 3, Anon constantly trying to gank for him, constantly trying to make him have an easy time and really, get to that point where you can carry the game. Just kind of like, I guess we can say the old Moscow 5 with Alex Sitch. You get him a couple of kills, and he can completely carry for you.
Yeah, the problem is also for them is there's going to be the magic pen, the armor pen, and they're in all sorts of trouble if they get the wombo combo of Lady Warrior and Magebane on them. And this bottom lane is really not working out for them. Look at the CS differential. Steelback, of course, was bullied out of lane earlier on. Didn't go down, but was certainly forced away, and that's forced him to have some problems. He'll pick up a chunk of CS here, maybe 1 or 2 waves, while it looks like the pairing move away. And on is very low. Will get picked off. Easy work there from the combo of Crystal and Naru.
Yeah, I really like how you pointed out the fact that Steel's really struggling in that bottom lane. And it's sad because we don't actually get to see why. Like, actually, we don't get to see an even battle between them in the bottom lane because it was due to the whole 4-man fight we had bottom side where the mid laner just sat there. Because he got the extra kill and the extra assist and he was denied so much CS into the turret, he's forced to play passive. He's level 5 up against level 6. He can't really afford to go head-to-head anymore. It doesn't matter what the CS is at this point, and he has to just give this one kind of up. He's just trying to get as much farm as he can and hope to just stay relevant as this game goes on. Yeah,
the pickaxe versus BF sword as well, and the boots is always going to be tricky for him. Naru, though, did help himself to that kill. Looks like he's going to go for the Zhonya's as early as possible. Of course, getting that Seeker's Arm Guard makes perfect common sense against Mage Bane on the Z. So CS is going to be relatively equal by the time Dominant returns back to that bottom lane. And with the Sona alongside him, of course, they always have that pounds of sustain that can just keep on fighting. So it's going to be a clear way for Steelback, who has to play this one very defensively without that turret support. Crystal this time using his kick to try and keep him away. Will flash out just in time. The Lantern as well pulling him to lane, but that's a flash used by both junglers.
Yeah, and it's going to kind of, I want to say it's going to benefit Crystal a little bit more. I mean, yeah, the flash is nice for the kick, but denying the flash Cataclysm to the backside will help out as well. But I think one thing we should talk about is the whole, well, Kalista and the passive that she has with Sona now. Because obviously you can link with your support or link with anyone. You can always change it up before that 3-minute mark as you see Panic coming in. And the ultimate alone can actually knock you up into the air, but the crescendo going to completely miss.
Perfectly. Actually, no, I think he caught him, but it was just delayed because he was already going through. There's Steelback going down. Touch is going to follow. That's a double for Dominant, and that is perfectly done. Is he going to go for it? Will he try and fancy the 4-man stun? He tries to get himself out of it, but they're already awaiting, and that is going to be, sorry, I was about to say Kalista going down. Kalista getting himself another. Until Rumble steals it away. That's got to be Dragon now. There's nothing they can do to stop it, but will we see a cheeky smite? And remember last time around they tried this and it backfired on them horribly because they lost out on the Dragon. I don't think we're going to see Crystal going for it. He's coming across, but I don't think he's going to be there in time.
Oh, a little bit of fight going between Mage
Is there a pop to pop him? Not quite enough to pop him. And the Dragon was picked up by different dimensions.
All right, so we're seeing a little bit of a different streak come in here. I mean, they're up 6-1, kind of what we saw before. Ooh. Dominant going head-to-head against Crystal. He's got to be careful, though. Yes, he has a thresh off the side, not to mention Ari, but you can see the damage he's already able to do with just that BF sword.
Yeah, that was the passive stacking up there, and suddenly smashes him down. He realized he was actually a lot lower than he thought, but he can easily sit at the end of the day, just life steals it all back off the Raptors.
So yeah, so going back to Kalista and the passive with the blood, whatever it's called. Oathsworn. I thought it was Bloodsworn something. Whatever. Anyway, did you see Mage going back in on Naru? He was getting caught in from the backside as well. He should go down for this one. But picks up Naru in the meantime.
Well, yeah, he shouldn't have been able to get that one. Does finally finish him off, Lissandra. A little bit slow there to close that one out. And this is definitely a lot more bloodthirsty game than we've been seeing in the last few matches.
Oh, yeah. And damn it, Sven Skaren, can you let me talk once here? Actually keeps happening with the Oathsworn. So between Kalista and whoever she uses it on, obviously with Sona, you both attack the same target. You do % of health damage, which can always be very good. That makes him very good at dueling, early on. But not to mention the ultimate. So you obviously make Sona invulnerable to being hit. Then you can throw Sona where she throws herself at a target, knocks them up, and knocks her back as well to where you were. And it can really be effective in fights for disengages, not to mention engages. But we just see in the top side, the Sandra getting caught out here. And look at the damage Rumble's able to do!
Just wrecked him, no problem.
And if you saw her claw, I had to go back to show it. The way she clawed out of that one was probably like the worst possible way you could have it happen. She's going to claw right through the whole equalizer. Like, that's unfortunate.
Let me just eat the entire equalizer.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, that's what we're saying. Like, I think equalizer has one of the highest damage overall if you commit them to the entire time of being in it, and that's what makes Rumble Jarvan so strong.
Do me a favor and just hover over Kallista's passive. I want to see if it's the same on yours. Oh, no, I was going on the bottom there, Danny. Yeah, bad description. it's a bad description. It's not working on there. But you can hover over, luckily, the name, so it's all good. But the ulti you can look at. The
yeah, 12% of their max health is magic damage if you both hit the same target. Like, if like a top tier bot lane combo would just
easily combo, yeah. That's good. Like, it's going to be good to see him come in. Like it's been a while since we've had a completely different AD carry, like different variation. Obviously, Lucian was probably the last AD carry we had through. I think, which was obviously become dominant. Thank you very much, Daniel
Wait,
Klein.
Lucian or Jinx?
Lucian was after Jinx, I think.
Okay. Yeah. And
Maybe.
Lucian, it's been the reign of Lucian because of how strong he is.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. Whoop. Just dodging out of that one. They're going to try and close in on this one. They actually do get caught out by the crescendo. That was a good point-blank crescendo from Panda Life. Actually, long-range crescendo. Does keep him alive. Kalista not anywhere near this one, so Dominant is going to back to base, get that Infinity Edge complete, but I think they may lose out in this middle turret. The Lady Warrior is there, though. Has got a lot of damage. Equalizer available. Will he get it popped down? He may have to, because he's taken very low. There it is. And you can see Touch is just burning in it right now. They're going to try and lock onto Mage Bane. Will they take him down? Pops the ultimate out. May get something from it. No. Doesn't get the ulti down. And that is what happens if you go ham and your AD carry is not with you.
Yeah, exactly. And also, it works so well with the composition for DP. I think I mentioned before the picks and bans, they're like a pick comp. You land a charm into a hook, or he's trying to say that, into a Lissandra ultimate, and you can kill them instantly. And that is exactly what happened to Anon when he went in. That happened to Panda a little bit earlier on, but he was able to escape it before. And not to mention Mage Bane just getting completely blown up in that one. So DP, yeah, they were down 7-1 in kills, but look at this. In a matter of 3 minutes time, they've gotten 3 kills and only given up 1.
Yeah, and just a 1,000 gold differential now as well. So, very close game still in this 4th of the series. Can Dark Passage close out the game? They are 2-1 up overall, but different dimension, showing something new this time around, akin to what game 1 was like, and starting to get a little bit of control. I feel a lot of it is down part to Lady Warrior. Did have a very good game 1. Anon has kind of been there for the majority of times. Been a little bit more aggressive this time around, though.
Yeah, he hasn't had as great of like counter ganks
that
he did in game number 1, which is really hard to do, obviously, especially against Lee Sin. But either way, they're off to a good start. And you know, one thing I like to talk about, I always like to see within teams, like how often do they play best of 5s? Probably not that often. Obviously, they play throughout the entire day, but they have breaks. But when you're forced to play a best of 5 with maybe 5-10 minutes breaks in between each game, it tests your mental fiber, or your mental fiber, your ability to just kind of stay focused for this entire time. And you know, teams like DP, they've had months and months and months, and you know, the international wildcard and playing at Worlds to prepare for this. But a team like DD, like you can go on tilt very easily to best of 5 and just kind of give up completely. But you need to stay focused, especially in a situation like this. This is practice for something potentially much bigger later on down the line.
Oh, and there's a hook on straight away. Crescendo goes across. That's a good equalizer to back it up. And Dark Passage just get wrecked where they stand. Naru's going to go down. And on Psycho will pick that one up. And a 2-for-0 this time in different dimensions. They are leaving that Lucian to keep pushing freely on the top lane. But it looks like they want to make sure they get this mid turret and the dragon to follow.
Let's see, he's actually going to get a little bit quick here. The minion wave going to be shoved in. The Sandra might come in from the backside. Lee and Lucian, this is going to be tough to hold on to. Colin going to be used just to keep the wave back. But that turret, it's going to fall. There's nothing they can do about it. Lissandra's still coming in from the back, though. They might go for a fight. Yeah,
we can see if they do. While that was all happening, of course, Mage Bane was just down the bottom. He was free farming. There was not a great deal going on for him. He's actually backing, so I don't think they're going to go Dragon this time around, despite the fact it's up at 12 seconds.
Yeah, they had the timer on it, too. That actually is a little bit weird to see them kind of...
Well, what items did he get? What did he just complete there?
Nothing, really.
Yeah, nothing really.
I think he might have just finished his build Rudder Cutlass, because that wouldn't show up in chat.
I felt like he was trying to get the Blade of the Rune King complete quickly, but just didn't quite have enough.
Actually, yeah, I think you're right. I think it was just the daggers he picked up for a little bit extra attack speed. But Skull Crab going to be picked up here. You have DP full vision control for them.
Very odd situation, that one. Not sure why they didn't quite build up. They had everything in place, but they knew, I guess, Dark Passage were all kind of back on Swans, and they have been caught out a couple of times doing that while at Dragon. So maybe didn't want to risk it this time around.
Right now, they do have pretty much all their ultimates up here. Crescendo, though, they're waiting on.
Yeah, they didn't have the big ultimates. I guess that was probably one of the part of it. Didn't have that Crescendo, which was used in the previous fight to give them the advantage. Mage Bane being closed in on there.
Oh, he walks into the hook!
Dodged into it. Charm will land, and he's in trouble. He's going to have to use that ultimate to try and get out of it. Has he got enough damage down on Naru? No, I don't think he has. Oh, almost got out of there. Quick flay straight back on towards him. Touch will take him down. That's going to be Naru going down off this one, though. The heal, is it enough? Yes, it is. And on Psycho now. He's got Steel back locked in with him, but nobody else is supporting him. They're just running for their lives instead. And that's Lady Warrior picked up. And again, where the hell was Dominant throughout that entire fight? The rest of the team was there, but the AD carry was missing.
Hey, he needed that Raptor buff, man. He needed to kill a Raptor. Yeah, I mean, that's completely right. You need your AD carry there, especially, you know, Kalista, a very unique pick that we haven't really seen happen too much because she's kind of not been allowed to be in tournament play, but now they might be giving up the Dragon here. See Sona off to the side trying to help out, Kalista trying to come in as well. It will be secured, and now Sona might go down for this one.
Well, Sona went in a crescendo, and again, Dominant not on the same page. Now you can't go in and join 2v1. Panda Life, is he going to get one kill? No, because they separate. They don't go for the same targets. That was completely rubbish by different dimensions.
And that's a delayed ace coming in, so they pick up 5 kills, they pick up Dragon as well. And you know what, they've almost secured themselves a gold lead, only down about 500 now. And not to mention kills, they're down only 2. This is a complete turnaround now for DP, and they're proving just to be the stronger team in the long run. They're keeping their focus, and DD is just letting all these things slide. I mean, why? I can see why Panda wanted to go in. Maybe they'll agree to kill Steel, but he got himself killed and Dominant killed and lost Dragon for it.
Well, they're going to get another pick here by the looks of it. Not too sure that Lissandra can escape this one. There we go. Mage Bane will go in. Oh, locked up under the tower. That's going to work out well for him. They haven't quite got enough poke down. They will finish him off and gets out with the Living Shadow. But now, Dark Passage going to collapse on towards him. If the charm lands, he is dead meat, which he's going to be anyway because he can't sidestep that many times. And that will be Mage Bane being picked off. So while they get themselves a pick, they lose for it. And they actually gain 0 objectives overall.
Yeah, they're trying to shove mid lane to get some damage onto the turret. You even have Lady Warrior to potentially hold them off, but in the end, they shouldn't really be able to accomplish too much, unfortunately. Though they do pick up the kill, they keep applying this pressure. Now, Mage Bane, I mean, he's 3 and 4. Like, he needs to keep snowballing this game. He can 1v1. Oh, no, actually, that's the problem. He can't 1v1 Naru because he went for the Zonias right away. And Steelback's the only target he can really go for here.
Equalizer, Touch is in trouble. He's burning through it. But again, they can't get enough on him. Flashes burn, nothing gained.
That is a big ultimate down, too. Like, that's, if you're talking about wombo combos.
It's a fairly quick one.
It is fairly quick, yeah. As you can see, it's pretty much almost off cooldown, well, at least a quarter of the way through. But their whole based on wombo combos again, with the Rumble, with the Crescendo, with the Cataclysm. And you need every single ingredient to bake that perfect cookie. That was terrible. I don't know where I was going to bake a pie. I don't know, but you need all the ingredients to make that one work.
Apple pie.
Oh, sounds delicious.
I know, I could do with that right now myself. So, anyway, we're getting distracted by food. That's what we're doing. We're all quite hungry here in the studios. Please send help right now. I think the producers fell asleep. Not too sure what he's doing.
You can order pizzas.
He's still he could order something for us, but yeah.
I think you heard the word pizza or food. And
yeah, that perked him up straight away. So, back to the game. 12-10. And actually very equal, despite the fact there was a gigantic advantage built up early on. It was 11-4 at one point, and now at 12-10. Steelback, who was so far behind, is now ahead in CS. Almost are equal in kills, 2-1-4 to 3-1-4. Miles differential. And now, with the turret going down, it's actually Dark Passage in the leading gold.
All right, so that just shows like the fortune they've been able to pick up, or not pick up, hold on to throughout the entire time. To realize, yeah, we're down 7-1, but then they turn around to 12-10. And they already have that one Dragon under their belt here. Maybe looking for a second one when it does come back alive. And meantime, one thing we haven't mentioned, as seems to happen every single game I ever watch, Rumbles always fall behind in CS. Well, 123 to 185.
Well, the thing is, he's been off fighting so many times.
That's what they've done every. That's what they've done every game now. But it only worked out the first game for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're in like a different comp. They don't have a tanky top laner anymore. But they're still getting picked and engaging in some fights that are really questionable that end up costing them, well, all 5 of their lives.
And again, it's different dimension being the counter, really. They're the only ones reacting. They're not being proactive enough. They're not the ones pushing. They're not the ones creating opportunities. They're basically defending at the top, defending in the middle, and again, they split off and just clear the jungle. They're not actually pushing any objective, pushing any lanes. It is all Dark Passage right now in full control.
You can see they were down, what, like 3,000-4,000 gold at one point?
So, what I don't get is why they're using Lady Warrior to split push instead of Mage Bane.
Well, Mage Bane, he has, okay, so in terms of wave clear, he's going to do much more than Rumble will, because Rumble has to get way too close, and when you have to get close enough, you can get obviously hooked in or charmed, or even the Sandra ulted, but I think once Lady Warrior takes down this top turret, if he eventually can, then he'll try to transition and send Zed back out. But Zed has a problem. He can't really one-shot anyone except maybe Steel because of the Zonias that are in, because of Lissandra can ult herself or ult him. So he's kind of at a really rough point of who the hell do I fight and where do I do it?
It's been a weird Zed, because normally if it's a Zed, you're going to roam a lot.
Yeah.
But he hasn't done any roaming. He's not left that mid lane. All those 3 kills have come from the mid lane. He hasn't been around a great deal. He got that one decent fight down the bottom lane where everybody was basically involved. Actually, no, he wasn't even involved. Oh, and speaking of that, Lady Warrior in trouble now in the top lane. Puts the equalizer down, does slow things down, but he's going to get stun locked up there. And Lady Warrior overheats, puts good damage down in a 2v1, and they might try and turn this one around. Wow, look at that damage back on towards Kalista.
Oh, Thresh getting caught out, though.
Oh, yeah, it goes a little too deep. Does get knocked. Flag and drag. But there's no damage following through because Dominant went the entire length of the back pit, and he will finally come in and steal away the kill.
And look at that. Actually, Dominant is at 4-1.
Yeah. He has been for a while.
And you've been calling him out for, like, not being in fights.
He's always there, but, you know, that was all from the start. He's been 3-1-4 for a very long time.
No, right. And if he was in those fights, like you're saying, like he should have been, then these might have been a completely different, you know, outcomes.
They should be way ahead by now. I mean, they had such a big advantage, especially from the lane phase. Remember, all those kills, they came from that big bottom lane fight where they completely dumpstered them. But they've let it go since then, as the song says. But it hasn't just worked out for them right now. They need to focus on this. They need to start just grouping up, doing something, split pushing, whatever tactic they want to do, but they need to basically settle on a tactic, because right now they're just seemingly countering every time, and again, completely out of position for Dragon, yet they're the ones that just got the kill.
Luckily for them, they do have the Scuttle Crabs. They do have permanent vision of it, but like you said, not in position to really even stop this. Jarvan's nowhere to be seen here, so it's going to come down to Zed or the Equalizer, and Zed will steal it!
Oh, gets the steal. Nicely done there from Magebane.
Crystal didn't even smite.
Getting a little bit of revenge, maybe, I think, when, of course, Steelback stole it last time around. So that finally worked out for them. So that's actually the first Dragon. Is it the first or the second?
First Dragon for DD and 1 Dragon for DP.
Yeah, so, okay, so that buff will neutralize itself.
Oh, sorry, no, second for DD.
Oh, it was the second. Okay, so they actually can push the towers. Yeah, I still thought it might be the second. So, because they had a fairly early one.
Oh, yeah, it was the the fight on bottom that caused that. But either way, good steal coming for Zed. Can't really count on those every time. And a big misplay from Crystal. Didn't even bother smiting, but Psycho can get hooked in here. But he can tell that DP do not want to fight right now. They don't have a Sandra, they don't have Lucian just yet. And they're counting on that one hook, that one charm, to really open up the entire fight.
Well, we'll see whether Andy Psycho fancies, and I keep calling him Andy, a non-Psycho, fancies diving on this one. But again, they are actually starting to let Magebane split push. He's got that Play of the Rune King completed, and he's starting to shove the waves. Of course, we do see the same working out in the top lane from, we keep calling him, it is Elwind is his actual name, but I have no idea what the hell to call him in this name at the moment. He's using a really random name, certainly to the English tongue. But mid lane, left completely undefended, and they will come in and take it with ease. They're not the ones with the passive, they're not one with the buff. It's a flank coming around though. Lady Warrior locks on Crystal, good kick there, but he will get focused on. Jarvan ultimate Cataclysm on towards them. There's the crescendo onto Naru. Zhonya's Hourglass will keep him alive for now. There's a good hook actually on Lady Warrior as he gets popped down there straight away. Mage Warrior comes around the side. Magebane trying to lock in, but doesn't get the damage down, and it's actually Dark Passage that come out the better as they chase in. Will they come around the side? There's the flanking maneuver. It's a little too early, but the Zhonya's Hourglass will keep him alive for now. That's going to be a second. Steelback comes in around the side. Can they lock on? Magebane gets focused on. One more hook, one more damage. It is going to be Toucher. We'll pick that up on Thresh. And wow, a 3-4-0 to Dark Passage. They countered, they chased, they flanked, and they managed to come out on top. Wow.
It was the combo. The Equalizer plus the Cataclysm didn't land at the same point. The Equalizer kind of stopped them from obviously pushing across that point, but like half of them already passed it. Half of them already threw it anyways. And eventually the damage you did do was over onto Crystal, who can just hop around. Naru just bought some time with the Zhonya's, the great hook coming in on the Lady Warrior as you saw. It was a bad fight, and it was terribly executed outside of DD. They did not work together. Their synergy was not really there, and you cannot afford to run teams that require these really intense team fight synergy or combos if you can't pull it off.
And it hasn't just been working for them so far.
It hasn't at all.
All square, 13-13, but now they find themselves 3,000 gold down because they just lost that inner mid turret, the first one of the game to go down. And now Dark Passage just simply kiting around and winning fights, really. They have such a mobile team as well, really. It was something we didn't focus so much on at the start, but with the Ahri, the Lee Sin, even the Lucian, you could say, and of course Lissandra, they can run away very fast and then engage or straight back on towards them, which is what exactly caught them out there. And the focus of targets actually was pretty dire from different dimensions. They weren't really going for the same person. They weren't able to lock them down because as soon as they got on one, off he went.
And the problem is Mage got exhausted going in right away.
Yeah. Well, that was always the big counter to the Assassins, the Zeds, the exhaust, because it's a 40%, I think it is now. Used to be 50, of course.
And now, so you already have a Zhonya's onto the 2 AP carries. Now there's a QSS on Steelback. And Mage, actually, he might get caught out here. We see Krista coming from the side as well. And Mage could ult Naru, but he can just Zhonya's all the damage off there, or the burst.
Yeah, that's exactly the counter to it. That's all you need. He's going to still try and go in. He may get it down. Not quite enough. The safeguard will come out, and the shield is just about enough to keep him alive.
So Mage has no one to ult anymore, because it will either be cleansed by Lucian, or it will be Zhonya's by the 2 AP mids, or the 2 APs. Ooh. And I don't know, Finger trying to buy a little bit of time here. Maybe for Lissandra help with Lantern going to come in. Lee Sin going to join the party as well. Might be able to get a nice kickoff if Lissandra can get engaged.
Well, they're actually going to turn it around. There's a Crescendo and Cataclysm, but they got no damage follow-up. Now they're going to get in there, because here's Lady Warrior. Equalizer goes down, does get himself 1 kill. Kalista comes around the side, Dominant picking up a 3rd. Can he get on towards them? They do manage to get themselves 4 kills for 1, with, of course, Magebane going down way down the bottom. And now, it looks like they're pushing for Baron.
Who would have thought an Equalizer Cataclysm combo would win you a fight when you're running a Wombo combo team? I never would have guessed that. It was a great Equalizer, great Cataclysm. Lockdown 2, they took so much damage over time. They're going for Baron now, which can be a little bit risky. Naru has his ultimate almost back up, and he can obviously harass over the wall here. Anon has to be careful. And this could be stolen away. Like, this is actually a bad move.
This is a
risky,
risky,
he could pick up 4 kills right here.
Yeah, we can see if he can play it right. He's got that charm available. There's one. Tries to go in, but instead now he's the one tanking it. Spirit Rush, 2 dashes used already. Has got 1 more remaining, but that's going to keep him very low if he dashes in. That's his last dash. Can they catch on towards him? There's the Equalizer. They try and lock on towards him. They do take him down, but look at this. Teleport comes around the side. You can see 1 going down. They've managed to pick up the Baron, and yeah, not just about in time. But look at Kalista can turn. Lissandra can clean up. I can get the damn name right eventually. And on Psycho, as he got the flag and drag, he just used it. And he's going to get caught out. So, as you said, dangerous. Oh! Ooh, that was close. Oh. They got the Baron, but they lost in a 3-1 fight. Again, it's messy, messy stuff. I can't even speak anymore either. Kalista and Lissandra, God, that's a mouth tongue twister. Damn this game.
Don't worry, I'll talk for you right now. So I'm really confused. Naru, I feel like he could have had that a little bit better if he didn't obviously Spirit Rush into the pit and kind of have himself all alone. Obviously, he wanted to stop it from being taken. But Lissandra, of course, using the ultimate coming in from, or not the ultimate, the teleport coming from the side was a fantastic addition there.
Go for him.
Nah, they should be able to lock him down. He should easily be able to run away from that one. At least I would hope here to see the hook even come in, trying to buy a little time ultimate as well. And it looks like he'll just sacrifice himself in the meantime.
Yeah, he just got completely slaughtered there.
They did pick up Dragon, though, in the meantime. DP did get that one.
Yeah, so that's 2 Dragons apiece, I believe. So no advantage gained. Oh, Magebane actually caught out a little slow there. Crystal putting some... taking some damage. But he defends Steelback, who was the focus of that one. We do see Touch also coming down on Thresh, making the move down towards him. Closing in, going aggressive on towards him. Magebane, of course, he has got the Baron buff. This is a risky play in a 2v1. He's still got a chance. Instead, he turns it back around, goes on towards Crystal, pops the ultimate down. He will just about survive. A good kick from him launches him back into Steelback, and it's Touch that picks up the kill.
And now there's only 1 man left with Baron here. Naru might get caught out. Spirit Rush is up, so he should be fine.
Oh,
not too much
sidesteps the charm. Cataclysm misses as he takes the Lantern to freedom.
Freedom! There's only actually 1 man left with Baron on the side of DD. So after all of that, they ended up losing, was it 4 for 1 now? And only getting Baron onto 1 man. So if they're going to push, they need to do it with him there. Obviously, don't really have the opportunity to split push anymore. And yet, it's kind of like it was an opportunistic Baron. It wasn't like, we're going to push off this. It was, let's just take it away from you so you can't go for it anytime soon.
I don't think they foresaw losing 3 people.
I don't think so.
In that Baron fight either.
And even after all the Barons, or after the Baron, they're still behind in gold by 500.
And that's the red buff for Steelback. Steelback himself having another great game, despite being punished so early on. Has managed to get himself back in there and is actually ahead in gold over Dominant, who's playing Kalista.
Yeah, he is. And speaking of Kalista, going for a... Ooh, that almost got stolen away. Going for the Bloodthirster, Infinity Edge, and a static Shiv. And actually, I want to highlight her attacking. Well, when she comes back, we'll see it. But in the meantime, again, you know, even though DD was kind of falling behind, we saw what happened when their combo did land. And now Naru going and looking for the charm here. Spirit Rush is now down. Lissandra might be able to catch on Warrior, but he's Sonya's. He'll still get ulted down, though.
He's going to get his ultimate out, though. Is it going to be enough to try and burn through them? There's the Equalizer. It's in a good position. Lady Warrior will get picked off. Touch is going to get cataclysmed on. A little overkill there, maybe, I think. But instead, we're going to see he's going to try and pick them off from the side. Steelback's the one they want to focus on. It's a good knockup. Is it enough, though? He turns it back around, gets the light bind on. He's getting the double hits. He will finally get taken down by Magebane. But is that too little? Crystal gets away with next to nothing. And finally, Dominant decides to join the fight once again. Nowhere to be seen. Panda Life with the snipe.
Oh, the flash and the auto attack coming in. So that was a 4-for-3 trade. Still DD coming out ahead here. And it looks like they might be able to push it onto this middle turret. Obviously, Dominant's still alive, has a lot of damage behind him. And Naru, well, the last man standing, trying to get his blue buff here before he goes back to base. But still, nonetheless, DD, still a little bit of life in him. Now pull ahead with the gold lead. And now you have a Kalista who's at 6-3-6.
Yeah, finally working out well for him. I'm not sure Lady Warrior was the one they really wanted to focus on. I mean, they went for the target, but he was already at 7-2-7 at the start of that. That I think it was Touch on Thresh that actually was burning throughout on that equalizer that he managed to get out after the Zhonya's. But Kalista doing work right now. When he ever turns up at a fight, Dominance.
Look at that mobility.
I know, it's scary, isn't it? That's actually horrible to play against because you're just like, what would you...
Try hitting skill shots on that. Yeah.
Stand still, goddammit.
All right, in the meantime, we will have still actually get a lot of CS in the bottom lane. But we can start to talk about, item builds. They're I want to say, quote-unquote, almost finishing in terms of what the point we are in the game. You can see the Zhonya's, Leandry's, Abyssal done for Lady Warrior. You saw how much damage he can do. He needs to actually pick up his Rylai's, which actually got a huge increase. It's 100 ability power now, like
a good item
like
now.
500 health as well. It's phenomenal, and that would be a perfect addition into his kit here. But they're going to take up another turret here while they can. Thresh kind of getting caught out here towards the bomb site, but we'll be fine. When it comes to wave clear, I still feel like DP, they will be able to wave clear enough that it's going to be impossible to siege a turret down against them.
So they've changed up the tactics here. They've decided, like, okay, let's group. Because split pushing wasn't working. Magebane was just dying over and over because they were 3-man ganking him. And they didn't have good enough ward coverage to spot it coming. So it looks like they've gone, okay, so screw this. Let's 5-man group up here. Let's go in for it. Crystal's going to take the Lantern, but he's taking a hell of a lot of beating for the punishment as he backs away. Panda Life also taking a lot of damage as well.
He doesn't have home guard boots, though. So he actually can't get back to this fight as quick as he needs to. So they might actually lose this turret here. That the Colon, they're using everything they can to clear out these waves, but you'll see the power of Ahri and Lissandra in just a few seconds and why Lissandra's so heavily picked when we see this next wave arrive.
Also seeing the power of the shield that these new inner turrets give you. Gives you that slight benefit in bonus. Oh, look at this. They've got no vision. They're aware of something happening here. We're going to see the charm thrown out. I think the Lantern might end up going in there. Yeah, Death Sensors flung in. Doesn't land them, but they did see that he's still there. They might try and catch on towards him. Touches taken some beating there. A little bit of poke on towards him. And Lissandra doing a good job at wave clearing now. Just keeping hidden away in the side there with the Lucian. So they can't manage to get the waves. They want to get a pick, but they're just not finding anything right now.
Yeah, they're not. And they kind of need to go for this. Well, the thing is, the whole comp is based around just kind of going in and fighting, and yet they're still really hesitant to do it under the turret. They don't have enough minions to be able to even go for it, and the turret hasn't taken any damage just yet. You're going to see this next wave going to be cleared out instantly, and they're going to not be able to penetrate this. This defense is too strong for them, and you can just see them just hoping for like a lucky pick that just won't come,
well, or it shouldn't come. Not really losing anything from it, though. They're still both clearing the waves. It's just a case of, can one of us land a pick? If they do, they could turn it around quickly. With the Baron spawning in 20 seconds, it's almost ideal. If they do manage to get a pick, they could quickly turn back to their Dragon. Of course, 10 seconds away as well. May well be focused. They may give up on this siege if they realize with this wave, cannon wave coming in, will they find something? Overheating on Lady Warrior, actually, so that's going to immediately stop things for them.
I wonder how long this is going to last before one team decides to, well, not one team, but DD decides to just back away. I mean, obviously, they're not really accomplishing too much. The bomb lane is shoving, though, so they'll get some damage onto that turret, but you can't depend on the minions to take down these waves here. And finally, they will back off Baron and Dragon both alive. And one thing they did have was they maintained vision control of Baron, but these pink wards will at least provide a little bit of control here for DP.
They're going to try it and do a chance. Baron setup. They may actually find Crystal. He will take the Lantern to get out of this one. As you mentioned, they had all three waves pushing in for them. The two middle and bottom is working in their favor. So this is a good time to try and set up for Baron. But they didn't manage to get too much from Crystal this time around. They're starting it.
I would be surprised if they gave this up completely. Lady Warrior's all by himself here. Obviously, they can get over the wall pretty quickly here. But you see Baron down by half HP. Lady Warrior going in by himself here.
Oh, that's a bad equalizer. Lady Warrior's drawn it away. They're peeled off. It's not going to catch on towards him. The culling comes out, and Lady Warrior forced to back away, but Equalizer is now down. This is a risky count. They've re-engaged on the Baron. The Baron had regen some of that health. I don't know what they're doing.
You shouldn't fight in this pit against a double AP composition, especially with Lissandra there. Jarvan tanking it up with Dominant, and they're both taking a lot of damage from this. This is not a smart move by them. This is just all it takes is a ward to spot them out or some sort of engage here out of the side of DP. And they're finally going to back. Oh, the Soda Crab, who'd it go to?
Yeah, it's actually the blue.
They did
managed to get it. DD managed to lock onto it. They want to try and get a pick onto touch. Just anything will work for them right now. Ooh, we can see the top lane. It is getting beamed on towards it. They do get the crescendo down. Naru caught out. He has to use the Zhonya's Hourglass. Will he get picked up in time? Good knock up there. He does manage to get out just in time, but that's going to be the jungler for DD going down. And now Mage trying to get in there. Mage Bane, will he get a kill? No! He got picked off. The Lady Warrior does manage to take down the jungler Crystal as well. Scratch on there. Look at the speed. Look at the power of Dominant as he can try and zip around, but he's caught with the hook. Is the charm going to come in? Instead, he might pick up a kill from it. Steelback tries to get him around. Gets him down. Panda Life manages to come around and counter, but that's a 4-for-2 in favor of Dark Passage right now. They were all so low, but again, the target focus is so bad from direct, oh good lord, different dimensions. The Dark Passage survived, and they're going to get a third dragon. That was horrible.
Yeah,
from me and the team.
But DP just showing their true colors, though. Showing that they're a really strong team, that they can kite in and out. They know exactly how to, make these team fights work for themselves. And not to mention, just toying with Mage Bane in that fight as he was 1v4 in the backlines, getting hooked and getting exhausted. He, again, isn't being able to do anything this entire game when it comes to these team fights. And DP netting the third dragon. They stop the Baron. They pick up the kill advantage. We're all tied now 25 to 25, 40 minutes in. But they also are only down about 700 gold after considering what's happened already.
So, 25 to 25, 50 kills on the board, 40 minutes into the game. Definitely a much more bloodthirsty game than the last three have been. Both in the 60+ thousand range in gold. So all stacking out 3, 4, 5 items as they move into the very late game. 40 minutes time. This wasn't really what foreseed, I think, with this patch when they were starting to bring everything in. But we have a fairly equal game. Of course, different dimensions fighting to stay in this tournament, this grand final. It's a best of 5. They're 2-1 down. And if Dark Passage were to secure it, they would get themselves victory in this inaugural Southeast European Championships and get themselves a stack of money in the process. At the moment, they now have for themselves vision in and around the Baron pit. They took the dragon. They started the Baron.
Yeah, they're going for it. It's actually dropping
they're miles away.
Extremely quickly.
They got it. There's no one near it.
Rumble could potentially steal with an equalizer if he's being that cheeky.
It's got to get in quick. It's not going to get close enough. That's picked up. That was such an easy pickup for Dark Passage after such a long fight. They showed the hand. Then Mage Bane was pushing the bottom, and he was nowhere near the fight.
Well, now we're going to find out how DP's going to work with this one here. Lissandra looking for Sony here. They could pick up an easy kill.
Oh, Crescendo is not going to be enough. That was, like you said, an easy kill. Quick pickup there from Elwind. Locks on towards him, and now...
Look at Clifton's head.
They're out of position, backing away. Inhib tower goes down. Inhib will follow. And suddenly, their base is carved wide open. This is a full Baron-up team just driving through different dimensions base and different dimensions after seemingly a fight. They just seemed down. They just didn't quite, whether they couldn't regroup themselves after being beaten in that fight, which they felt, honestly, we felt they should have won as well, I think. They just seem a little lost for causes right now. They don't quite know where they want to go.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of interesting things. So if you think about like the original Meet Your Makers back in the day, not obviously the current roster, they would have to depend on a strong early game to win games.
Yeah, they still kind of do.
But now you look at some other teams like in Faculty, which we saw during EPS this last weekend, they would always lose at the beginning of the game. But because they knew how to drag the game out a little bit, because they knew how to team fight really well, they would still win. And I feel like, to me, that may be exactly what DP kind of can do. Like, we've seen they excel in team fights way more than Different Dimensions has. Their laning phase hasn't been the strongest, especially with their jungle interaction. But they are proving, like, when it comes to these team fights, which is what it's all about now, that they can really, fight with the best, and they can really drag these out.
We'll see where they works out. I think for this fight to turn around, they need to land that wombo combo in perfect style. But right now, as it is, Elwind is once again off split pushing. He's got those buffed up Baron minions that are doing a lot of damage along with him. And that tower, that's gone. They've not responded. That's easy. Easy turret. GG easy.
They're just taking advantage of, I think, the inexperience out of DD now of how to kind of deal with the split push kind of strategy, especially with the buff minions now.
Yeah, the range on that buff cannon minion just pummeling it down. That's the inner turret also going down in the bottom lane.
Like
so
he's just staying off to the side, so they always stay empowered. Like they're just near the cannon. As long as you're near the cannon minions,
look at it. Look how much is punishing on towards that inhib. Boom. Inhib down. And they literally couldn't react.
For free. Then they need to fight here. Like, they cannot give away an inhibitor for free and maybe lose their inhibitor turret bottom.
This is the third inhib turret. All they're doing is protecting that turret. They're protecting the cannon minion. Boom. Cannon minion does it. Crescendo goes out. They're going to flash in. Again, the Cataclysm. The wombo combo no longer works because they've got the Zhonya's to counteract it. They're going to lock around their Dark Passage, cleaning up here. But now they're in trouble. Now they're going down. 1, 2, 3. Can Lissandra try and turn it around? He's in trouble. Tries to get around the side there. They have managed to ace them. And now, can they do anything with it? No, because they let everything fall, and they have super minions in their base.
Yeah, that first sector turret's already getting very low here, so this next 50 seconds of time with the increased spawn timers now coming into play here, they won't be able to do much. Like you're saying, they can't really shove down middle, they can't shove down top, and not to mention the turrets on the other side of the map. As long as you keep fighting on the enemy side, you don't allow them to reciprocate any kind of response after losing or after winning a big fight like that.
Well, 30-28. This is definitely a high kill game. 58 kills so far in 45 minutes of this game. 9-5 in turrets. It is Dark Passage. It is their game to win, and the championship will be theirs. Question is, can they close out this game? They've got the base completely exposed. 2 inhibs down. Last one completely wide open. Dragon, 4th dragon for them if they go for it. Would be up in 50 seconds, or, well, different dimension, fancy fighting for it. 45 seconds on the board, it's possible. They have potentially positional advantage, but they've got 0 wards down right there. They need to get some coverage, some sort of anything information would be good right now, but they are literally blind.
Well, sadly for them, this dragon honestly won't mean too much when it comes to like what they could benefit. If they had one more dragon under their belt and then had the 15% damage to minions off of this and to monsters, then that would be phenomenal for them to clear out these super minion waves and to stop the Hand of Baron pushes. But all it will net them is move speed. On the other side, though, for DP, it will net them extra damage to minions, so to make it even easier for them to split push if they want to. And now they can force, DD to leave their base to contest the dragon, while in the meantime, super minions are shoving top and middle.
Well, Anon is backing off to base, so it doesn't look like DD want to fight for this one. They are going to back away, dragon spawns, and that will be the 4th of the game for Dark Passage, which will give them another bonus buff as they try and catch out. We just saw Panda Life trying to get a little look in there, not even able to get that ward down. Oh, look at this. Magebane fancied it. No, not going to go for it. Actually, I don't think he could win that fight.
He has a Thornmail. Why?
Pass.
Pass?
I am.
This isn't password. You can't pass.
How? Why? Why the hell? Okay, so Steelback. Yeah, fine. Get it. But it's a double AP comp.
Yeah. You think a Guardian's Angel would do more? Maybe it was just like kind of a case of maybe I needed something now to survive longer in fights, and that's what I could pick up.
I'm not sure on that one. Gotta be honest. Oh,
they're going to go for something here, Deman.
You're trying. I'm just trying to offer something. I get it, but Crescendo completely whiffed.
Oh,
That's not good. Lissandra cancelled the
it.
Teleport. Well, I mean, they didn't really need it because the Crescendo whiffed. So it was just like, don't need to waste this spell. At the moment, though, they have a gigantic wave. It's a double stack coming in here. They have everyone to back it up. Lissandra's moving in. There's an exposed inhibitor in the mid lane, which nobody seems to be reacting to. So he's just hitting that one for free as they counter. They move up there. Can Dominator get in position? Can he actually land anything? Will he be in the right place at the right time? He hasn't been all game, despite the fact he's been picking up the cleanup kills. With that Crescendo down, they have to play ultra defensive.
And you can see they're just trying to buy some time here. Panda has 30 seconds left on the Crescendo, trying to help out in middle as well. In the meantime, the bomb lane is going to be shoved in. Eventually, this inhibitor will fall, and Mage is taking so much chip from Naru that they're going to have to force a fight here or get this one up. The top inhibitor still pushing in with super minions, and this is going to be rough.
Yeah, this is rough because all it is drawing them away. There's the inhib going down. They're going to try and collapse. They didn't quite close out the inhib. They may well lock on towards them. Steelback's in trouble. He gets taken down on the back now. Again, Anon Psycho managing to close that gap. But quickly, Lissandra comes in and out. Magebane trying to get on towards him. He will get the kill. And this could be another cleanup here for different dimensions. No, Crystal will try and get away. Look at that, though. Touch goes in, gets himself the inhib and the Nexus turret. The support's running wild. Will he get the next inhib? No, he gets it down as well. So he got 2 inhibs and a Nexus turret. The support plays man of the match.
He wasn't even helping his team. He's just like, you know what, guys? I got this alone. I'm going to take these down. But yeah, he picks up 2 inhibitors, picks up a Nexus turret, and that means all 3 inhibitors are now down. All these waves are shoving in. And even if it was a perfect ace coming out of the side of DD, they cannot push anything. Like, they don't have time to do this. And it's just a matter of time here before DP really can finish off this game. Like, they have to fight when the inhibitors are up and keep them alive, not let them go down 1 by 1 like we've seen.
Well, Mage Bane. Oh, hello. Crystal going in. He has got super minions on his side. Kicks him away.
And
puts a fair amount of damage. There's the ultimate going down, like you said. And the Thornmail, he's going to pop. No, not enough. Shields it. Safeguard. Saves the day.
Well, Mage, he's proven he has a lot of damage. And if you think about, not having a Sandra with the Zonias, not having an Aria with the Zonias, and not to mention the QSS out of Steel, then he would be able to one-shot some of them. He could almost get to Crystal. And yet, unfortunately, it's just kind of a little bit too late for him. A Baron now back alive. DD trying to go in for it here. And no one's even able to stop it right now. This should go down in time.
Well, we do see Crystal is nearby. He's going to come around. His Baron is very low, but he should be there in just in around right amount of time. Can he get a look? There's the kick. Will he come in? Gets the smite! Oh, he lands it! Dark Passage get the Baron still, and it all's all going wrong for different dimensions once again in this game.
And he kicks him out of the Cataclysm, saying, not in my house, go back home. Super Minions shoving bottom. Look at this, 3 Super Minions push onto this turret. The only next turret alive. Callista's trying to run as quick as she can, and look how much damage it's going to take if I can leave it off directed camera for a second.
Well, that was...
Look at that.
Look how much damage he's got. Wow.
That's going to go down to Super Minions.
Yep. You can't keep him away. I mean, it was basically a last chance saloon play there. If it had worked out that it got a Baron, it would have worked. They would have kept it clear. But, Flash comes out. Good knock-up. Good crescendo. Crystal low. Is he going to get picked off? They're going to see instead Lysandra taken very low from this one. Elwyn will get picked off. Lady Warrior picks up that kill. A Flay comes out. He keeps them away, but they have to defend. Look at this. Super Minions on the Nexus. The Nexus is falling so low. They've got so buffed up. They're just driving it down. The Nexus is going to drop to Super Minions. Ah! Naru comes in and Steelback finishes it off. Wow, Dark Passage coming out strong in a 30-35 game, 65 kills overall in a 50-minute game. What a finish, ladies and gentlemen. What a great 4th game. And Dark Passage, they are the Southeast Europe champions.
They are. They played from behind from the first game after losing #1. They played behind in this game, played behind in multiple other games, and yet proved they might be weak in the early game, but they can come together in the mid game and really kind of snowball the game against you. In the end, there was some really kind of questionable plays. There were some questionable fights, but it didn't matter. They realized they were really far ahead. They realized they had the inhibitors down. They had an MVP play out of Finger there, coming and killing 2 inhibitors and a Nexus turret, allowing that end to happen. It was really well done, and I was really excited to actually see these matches. They were a lot better than I thought they'd be.
Yeah, this was a really good best-of-5 series. It's great to see. We're on 4.21 as well, so it was obviously the new patch. We've seen Rek'Sai. We've seen Callista. Yeah. We've seen everything that we wanted from this game. It was great to see a new live tournament, of course. These guys probably won't, I don't believe they're available for the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne, which will be happening in just 2 days' time. The EU LCS expansion starts out on Thursday, so don't miss that. That will be with myself, Deficio, Joe Miller, Crepo, St. Vicious, Dexter, Shocks.
I can't wait to hear Dexter,
and, of course,
actually.
Pulse and Stress will be there as well for the expansion tournament. But, yeah, it's going to be great to see a lot of tournaments. But let's talk about this one. Let's just finish off quickly on this one. What a fantastic turnaround and what a fantastic best-of-4, because started off different dimensions, completely shocked us. They went 1-0 up, and it was a dominant first match.
It was completely dominant. I mean, everyone on the team played really well. The Wombo Combo Mage, in particular, was the MVP of that match. He was like 8-1 at some point on that Orion, and his shockwaves were phenomenal. Fortunately, you can't use that same strategy twice in a row, because DP adapted. They figured out exactly what to do, and they completely punished them for it. I feel like DD, they finally did catch on, in this last game, of how to kind of work around it by switching up Lady Warrior to more of a damage-oriented top laner, but it was too late. It was just a little bit too late, and they didn't switch around quick enough, and DP just had what it took when it came to those fights, came to the objective plays, most importantly, not to mention a couple of cheeky steals in there.
Yeah, there was too many cheeky steals. I think Dark Passage, remember that Corky rocket that got the dragon? That should never have happened, and that was when, again, different dimensions, they were in the lead, but unfortunately they lost that game because it's just little things. Yeah. And then the Baron at the end there, like that we said at the time, it's like they should lock it out, but that's a Lee Sin. he can come and steal that Baron so easily away from a Jarvan. And wow, what a turnaround of that game. What a fantastic close. And what a fantastic series overall. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been great to cast with you, Jason, once again. Get back on there. It's been a while since the 2013 LCS. Back in Season 3, last time we cast together in that beautiful extended summer playoff series with 6 extra games. What a great moment that was.
Lasted like 4 days. Yeah. It was amazing.
But yeah, what a great overall series. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a pleasure to cast on the seas. It's actually been a lot more fun than we were expecting, especially after our drinking last night. Yeah, Christmas party last night was... You may notice my voice is suddenly not lasting the night. It's like, I can't understand why. Maybe there was alcohol involved last night. But
a little bit.
It's been good fun, honestly. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. If you guys at home have competed in this, thank you very much for doing that. Of course, there will be a new Southeast Europe tournament coming up in 2015. So be sure to keep your eye on that if you're in one of the regions that can take place. For now, though, that is it for us for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you soon.